Express, Clifton Set, Act in Time, and then we get into the outsiders, 25s, Right Said Fred, Lord of the West, who carries the Arkle colours of Anne Duchess of Westminster, and General Pongo. And there's still more, 25s, Casterbridge, Cherokee Boy, Enivron, and then 33s, Noble Lord, Marching Marquis, 40s on the Boil, 50s Storm Tracker. And I think that just more or less completes the lineup. Right. John, this is a really hard race. I like Shannon Gale. I think Tremont, although he's a risky betting proposition, is well handicapped. What do you make of it?
Oh, well, I think Tremont's got the best jockey on in Tony Martin. I think Moon Digger, although he's got top weight, has got to have a chance. I really liked him. And I also like the look of Right Said Fred, who's done nothing wrong at all. In fact, he was our eye catcher. Really well produced this afternoon, as all of these horses were. Shannon Gale, Tremont, Shannon Gale again, and also Celtic Giant. Pluses for all of those. Surprisingly, Supreme Charm, not a very big horse, didn't impress Simon. And Tony's tip didn't seem to be anybody's tip down in the ring.
Two favourites have won since 1973, and Shannon Gale, who was back to 6-1 this morning. Ladbrokes, the Magic Sign, were laying the horse, which is worrying because they know what goes on over in Ireland. They laid the 6-1. It opened at 7-2, went out to 9-2. Is generally 4, but 1 or 2 bookmakers are showing 9-2 against it. It's then 7 and 8-1, bar the 2, but Shannon Gale, the moneyed horse.
Shannon Gale, who ran well here last year over hurdles, off a much higher rating than he's running off today. So we need to consider him to be well handicapped.
Take a turn back.
And once again, we have horses right on top of the tape. Every chance of something getting kicked. Jockey's looking for a good position.
Don't charge in over the gate, mate. Get out of it! No, sir, no! Come on!
Away they go. Tremont, possibly just the last to leave the starting squad behind, towards the first fence. Bit of a charge on the ball on the inside of Right Said Fred. General Pongo right there. They're all safely over. Storm Tracker is next out wide then, followed by Shannon Gale, the favourite, dropping into 5th place early. On the outside of Scotia Nostra, wide is Act in Time then from Esprit de Cotton, Prince de Rinière. Enivron next from Cherokee Boy, Supreme Charm, Muir, and Clifton Set out wide as they clear the second, at which General Pongo jumped alarmingly out to the right. The back marker is Casterbridge, also towards the rear Tremont, along with Celtic Giant, Avanti Express and Lord of the West amongst the rear division as well. Back with the leaders though, down towards the second. Storm Tracker perhaps just coming through to shade General Pongo now. Right Said Fred on the inside as they streamed over that one. Enivron just chasing the leading bunch. And the maroon jacket Marching Marquis goes up to join Storm Tracker. Then Act in Time and Clifton Set on their heels. Right Said Fred the inside. General Pongo still very handy. Enivron follows these as they continue on now towards an open ditch. A whole host of horses in close contention going to this. Marching Marquis took off just first from Storm Tracker in second. Then Right Said Fred on the Boil on the inside. General Pongo and Clifton Set. They're followed by Act in Time, Esprit de Cotton, Prince de Rinière as they clear another plain fence. Cherokee Boy is now just about last of all. That horse off and a front runner of the grey, and one from last is Lord of the West. Turning towards the open ditch, and it's Marching Marquis from Right Said Fred and Storm Tracker, and then behind these on the Boil on the inside. Clifton Set cleared it next, then Esprit de Cot on their heels. Act in Time out wide of Supreme Charm, then Enivron and Prince de Rinière. Back behind them in the midfield is Moon Digua then, with Celtic Giant getting a little bit closer. Still amongst the rear, Noble Lord has dropped out. Lord of the West towards the rear, still with Casterbridge, and there's the grey Cherokee Boy at the tail. Down the hill they go then towards fence number 8 of the 19 in this Football and Kim Muir Challenge Cup parameters, and it's Marching Marquis from on the Boil on the inside, Storm Tracker and Clifton Set on the outside in the headgear. followed next by Right Said Fred, Esprit de Cotte and Supreme Charm as they run towards the next and onto this plain fence. Marching Marquis, Storm Tracker, Supreme Charm getting much closer than Open on the outside, with right there Clifton set still, Prince Serenier on their heels. Shannon Gale is never been too far away, still sitting in about 10th, I would say. On the inside, might spot a white cap, green jacket, yellow hoop sleeves, the 9-2 favourite. Still well placed with just over a circuit to go. They jump what will be their last after another circuit, and it's Marching Marquis and Clifton set. Then on the boil, Scotia Nostra now gets a call, improving up the inside into 4th and 5th, the inner of Storm Tracker, followed by Esprit de Cotte and Act in Time, and then Supreme Charm and Prince Serenier. Honeymount improving a bit, then Enevrant from Tony's Tip getting a call on the outside. General Pongo is next, then Shannon Gale back on the inner as they clear the next plain fence, followed by Right Said Fred and Noble Lord and Celtic Giant, and then Moondeagle and Lord of the West. Tremont has never been in it so far. Casterbridge one from last, and still trailing is Cherokee Boy. Down the hill once again into the back straight, and it's Clifton set and Marching Marquis. These two disputing. Good job, Marching Marquis. And a faller back in the field. Looked like Shannon Gale, the favourite. Looked like the favourites on the deck there as they run towards the water jump. Confirmed Shannon Gale down. Marching Marquis leads them over the water from Clifton set and Supreme Charm on the boil. Then Esprit de Cotte, and there's the rider, Shannon Gale. Gordon Elliott sitting up as they now jump another open ditch. A bad mistake by On the Boil on the inside at that one as they bunch up front with Supreme Charm in the blue and white jacket. Enevrant coming there, and then Marching Marquis on the inside, followed closely by Clifton set. Esprit de Cotte has got a lot closer, driving up the inner. Act in Time is driven hard on the outside. Honeymount now moving onto their heels, the light blue jacket from Tony's Tip also improving, and then Prince Serenier. Another open ditch, Supreme Charm and Marching Marquis were the first two to take off there, but Supreme Charm is hanging outright in front from Marching Marquis as they make the top turn. In third is Clifton set. Honeymount improves into fourth, then Enevrant and Tony's Tip and Esprit de Cotte and Act in Time, and then Prince Serenier with Moondeagle now making a little bit of late progress as they run down the hill towards the final three fences, and it's Supreme Charm in front on the boil being pulled up behind runners. Down towards three out, Supreme Charm from Marching Marquis and Clifton set. Over in fourth was Tony's Tip then from Honeymount now being hard driven, then Prince Serenier, Enevrant and Act in Time and Esprit de Cotte as they run down towards the second last, and it's Supreme Charm that takes off first from Marching Marquis and Nod in second. Honeymount now delivering a run in third, then Clifton set from Tony's Tip. They're clear of Prince Serenier and Act in Time, and then Noble Lord from the rear, but Honeymount has come through to take over, turning for home. Honeymount and Robert Wolford from Supreme Charm, Marching Marquis, then Clifton set and Tony's Tip. Honeymount at the final fence, he jumps it with springs in his heels. Supreme Charm struggling to hold on for minor honours from Marching Marquis and Clifton set, but bounding up towards the line is going to be Honeymount and Kim Muir. Fourth will win Kim Muir. Honeymount, a clear-cut winner. Tight for the minors. Marching Marquis just second, ahead of Supreme Charm and Clifton set in fourth. Then came behind horses Avanti Express from nowhere into fifth, from Tony's Tip and Prince Serenier and Act in Time. Noble Lord, Lord of the West and General Pongo and Scotia Nostra. Then Esprit de Cotte and Enevrant, and then well down last year's winner Celtic Giant from Moondeagle and Cherokee Boy, and Casterbridge was just about the last to finish. Several poor uppers, Tremont, Storm Tracker and Right Said Fred, but a highly impressive win here for Honeymount, for the Robert Allner team, who have had Cheltenham Festival winners in the past. Flyers Nap winning at this meeting a couple of years ago. Honeymount in the colours of Paul Green, whose Orla Loire chased home Isterbrack in the champion hurdle just over an hour ago. Trained by Robert Allner, ridden by Robert Wolford, this horse who won impressively at Ludlow last time out, and earlier in the season chased home Castle Sweep on this track. Castle Sweep a big fancy for the Cathcart Challenge Cup here on Thursday. In second place, number 17, Marching Marquis, who was always up with the pace, third, Supreme Charm, who ran off a true line but still ran well. And in fourth was Clifton Set.
Honeymount, a 10-to-1 chance with 1 or 2 ferns in the offices this morning's return. The 8-to-1 clear third favourite, Honeymount, and beats the double carpet 33-to-1 chance marching Marquis, with third Supreme Charm sent off at 16-to-1. The fourth was Clifton Set, a 20-to-1 chance. Shannon Gale on the shoulders, the 9-to-2 favourite, but Honeymount wins the races 8-to-1, third best. Not too many bookmakers would have won on that in a relatively quiet, though, betting heat.
Best ever. Sorry, just musing there on the performance of Istabrack with a colleague earlier in the afternoon. Best ever, I reckon. But that was certainly Honeymount's best ever performance for a long time, and a lot of these amateurs, John, done very well to get round and complete.
Certainly did. The day that they can make a simulator that makes you feel like you're riding in an amateur race round here over 3 miles and a furlong in fast ground, that makes you sit back more than any downhill skiing simulator will. That's for certain. They were all over the place for the first 1.5 miles. Marching Marquis jumped from fence to fence. Gary Brown will be thrilled with his performance, then stayed on well to take second. Lots of good performances here, and none better than from Robert Walford, son of Tim, giving this horse a fine ride. Won cosily in the end. Jumped particularly well throughout. Came on the scene quite late. At this point, Supreme Charm, who jumped to the front halfway down the far side, and really quick over that fence, just being tackled at that point by the eventual second Marching Marquis. Honeymount just beginning then to get under pressure, but then gets another second wind and really just starts to come on the bridle, Jim. What's even further, I'd say.
Yeah, he won like he'd been jumped in, really, didn't he? Squeeze up there, it was no one's fault. Poor old Marching Marquis just stumbled a bit on landing. Gets a split, crack round the backside and takes off. It really has stormed up the hill. Young Robert Walford, whose father Tim, well-known figure in the point-to-point world, sits still at the last. Up he comes, spring-heeled, and he runs on very strong. Pretty polished ride, John.
Yeah, he's given a fine ride throughout. Should have put his stick down, hands in heels. Didn't need to give it a crack up the run in. He'd done everything, done all the galloping for him. But a good winner nonetheless. Shannon Gale did just over a circuit, going at this tricky downhill fence, just gets in a little bit close, pays the penalty, knuckles over. It was just a typical novice-y fall, a hard fall. Unfortunately, both horse and rider okay afterwards. And the last time Robert Horner in this winner's enclosure course with Cool Ground a couple of years ago, the Silver Fox. Really good trainer when he's got the ammunition.
And this won't be unsupported. Well, it wasn't unsupported, as Mac told you. And there's plenty of point-to-point fans, West Country fans, will be here to cheer this one in. Them might not be an Istabrack type reception, but very popular once again.
Good day for owner Paul Green. Honeymount, Robert Horner's 4th winner at the festival. Flyers Nat won twice here, and of course he won the Gold Cup a couple of years ago with Cool Dawn. Whether Honeymount will quite scale those heights, that would be debatable, but he's won in clear-cut fashion here today. And this 9-year-old is clearly still improving over fences. Driven out by young Robert Walford. Memorable day for him. Returned at 8-1, winning by 8 lengths from Marching Marquis at 33-1. Third Supreme Charm at 16s, and Clifton set in fourth at 20-1. Windtote 920, places 210, 520, 480 and 490. Exacta £222.20. Computer straight forecast £240.